Everybody, today we have up for auction is a MEP002A generator that was purchased from the Libby Corporation by the U.S. military. It is a 5 kilowatt output. I'm just going to circle the unit and show you some of the features, and then later in another video we have powered it up and we'll show you how it performs. Coming around on this side, you'll see it has, I installed two new Napa batteries. It's a 24 volt system. You can see they're wired in series. Over here you have your fuel tank. All the fuel lines, all of the oil lines were removed. They were purged, cleaned, and dried. The tank was removed and cleaned. The gauge works. Everything is sound there. Here we have the breather assembly. That was removed and cleaned and ready to go. Moving across here, we'll show you this plate. We move in on it. As you can see, I said it was an MEP002A. Shows you the various phases of it. 120 volt single phase, 120, 240 volt single phase. And then we have a 3-phase 120/208, and you can see the weight of it. Dries 960 pounds, 51 inches long, 32 inches wide, and 37 tall. Again, made by the Libby Corporation. Dropping down, you can see we have on this door, we have the various wiring for the volt phases. Here's our terminals. Everything, the lug nuts and all, they move easily, as you can see. No problems there. Everything in good shape and just ready for hookup. Here you see the makeup of the unit itself and the skids, and you see how the forks could be used to move it around because of the weight. And it is very, very well built. There's your fuel system diagram showing you the fuel pumps, the strainer, so on and so forth there. Coming around to this side, here is all the electrical schematics for the gen set. As you can see, it's very well detailed. Drop in, see the panel assembly, and see all the other areas that have been noted. We come here, I'll pull back. We have the gauges and the switches and all of that. In this area, I'll come in. You have a direct current voltage meter. You have your hour meter. You have there's a 60 hertz meter. It's very important. And then this one here is shows you your percent of your rated load and what you have on the machine and how much of the capacity is for the machine, how it's pulling. And there we have the voltages, 120, 240, 208. Here is your master switch. You have a preheat setting, which there is two manifold heaters as well as two heaters for in the block, 2 glow plugs. And we have prime and run for the auxiliary, prime and run for the set tank, as well as start, the master switch. Here's a panel light that turns off and on the 2 small lights that are between those various gauges. Over here we have the amp meter and voltmeter, and you set that depending on what your voltage requirements are. And we have the switch which increases and decreases voltage. It's your rheostat. Dropping down, we have the throttle / governor control. Push the button with your thumb, slides in and out. You can also fine tune it either left or right for your RPMs. I have it set at 1800 RPMs. Slave receptacle is also available. Almost all the military generators that I've worked with have that feature. You also have convenient 120 volt outlet, so that you wouldn't have to to tie in your terminal lugs, so you could just run any with a drop cord or anything off these two convenient plugs. Here you got your main circuit breaker, and if I can get down and see it, that is your switch for your various phases right there. So all of that's what's contained on this side. Moving over here, you have a plate that shows you the recommended starting sequence and the various service instructions for your grade of oil and grade of fuel and that sort of thing. Dropping down, here's your main fuel pump. Here, this one is your auxiliary pump with a solenoid, and back behind you'll see a third pump. This canister here is your strainer for your fuel. This one has an oil filter in it, as well as this one, and they are all new. I'm going to pull back. You can see this side. You can see the housing, the blower housing, fill tube here for a filler tube for your oil. You also have, which is very convenient for changing out your oil, you have a hose that gets it away from your unit, and you don't have a problem with the oil being spilled everywhere. Here's the all-important, I'll pull in here, the all-important oil gauge. Goes from 0 up to 50, and that's something you need to be aware of and be monitoring closely when the unit's in operation. Here is a area of your oil filter canister. It has a new oil filter in it. Above it is your fuel injector pump. Open up this housing here. You can see what I mentioned, where I mentioned the heater plugs. See the fuel lines. See the governor assembly. All of that's in good shape and very, very clean. Close that back down. We come back around back to the front. Of course, here's your blower fans contained inside of here. You can see the white reflective strip that I put on. That's how I check the RPMs with a laser detector. And here is where you set the speed at for your that set screw for your governed speed. All in all, folks, real nice unit. We're going to make another video here, show you and how it runs, how it handles a load. Bid with confidence. Someone's going to get a very nice generator. We'll be right back, and we're going to set up the load bank tester that I have, and we'll see you in a bit. Thank you. Hi everybody, we're back. As you can hear, got the generator running, up and running. Hopefully you can hear my voice over the generator. As I told you previously, I've made a poor man's load tester. I've made it out of baseboard heaters, 6 foot long, and they all operate on 240 volts, and they are 1,500, if I can come in, 1,500 watts a piece. Now this time I'm going to come around, got a breaker box, you can see, open it up, make sure that our main is on, and I'm going to flip one of this on. You can hear the generator governor just a little bit. That's 1,500 watts. As you can see, there is virtually no smoke coming out of it at all. whatsoever. Come back over. Pig right there on 60 hertz. And we are not quite at 50% rated load. Come back over. We're going to bring another meter on. That'll be 4,500 watts. Here's the generator pole. Absolutely no smoke whatsoever. And they're just purring away. Sounds great. Pegged in at 60 hertz. Not quite 75% rated capacity. Still maintaining 240 volts. Just a fine running machine. There's our direct current, our charge, showing you in the green. I'm going to come back over, put one more on it. That'll put us over 5,000 kilowatts. And you can hear that machine still keep running. Absolutely no smoke whatsoever. Coming back around. Sitting right there, Peg, 60 hertz. We are at almost 100% of capacity. Still showing you 240 volts. That, folks, beautiful sounding, beautiful running machine. That's what you want. Produces power. Back away. Hope you've enjoyed my video.